Do you need some energy to get through the day without relying on coffee? I got just the thing for you. It's called Neuro, and I'm partnering up with them for today's video. Neuro has gum and mints to energize, calm, and focus when you need it. They were developed by former athletes who were training at the highest level and simply didn't want to take any mysterious supplements or energy drinks when studying, training, or even going out. Instead of something sugary and ineffective, they wanted to create clean and balanced energy that could be taken anytime and anywhere. Their energy and focus formula is specially formulated with natural caffeine, theanine, and B vitamins to sustain the mental endurance necessary to maintain your focus. Their calm and clarity formula is expertly developed with GABA, vitamin D3, and L-theanine to optimize composure and clarity of mind. Their health and vitality formula is specially infused with life-enhancing, immune-boosting vitamins to help strengthen and support your body. What makes Neuro different? Neuro's gone through dozens of formulations, process, and tests to ensure that each gum and mint they make delivers on their promise of getting you in the right state at the right time. Unlike other heat-extruded gum and mints, Neuro's products are created using cold compression technology, which maintains each ingredient's bioavailability. Neuro is a clean boost of energy without the jitters of coffee or an energy drink. With so many challenges and demands, it can be really hard to stay focused, and Neuro does a great job of keeping you calm, cool, and collected. Stress, fatigue, lack of focus can all impact decision-making abilities. Recently, I had been feeling sluggish and have been distracted with everything going on in my life. These Neuro mints, however, have allowed me to stay on task and have stayed calm, cool, collected, as well as alert, and I've been able to change my approach and focus on the task at hand. Go to my sponsor link now down below, tryneurogum.com/JKB to enjoy energy, calm, and focus whenever you need it. All right. We are back again. 2 live streams in the same night. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the last live stream. I had Sosa Cremenges on, and we had a blast. In case you guys missed that, you can check it out after this live stream. It is up on the channel already. Had a lot of fun talking about the rookies and what maybe they can bring to the next level as far as their rookie season. Before we get into it, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to check out Aura in the description below, as well as Neuro. Those are our sponsors over on this live stream. And you can get 20% off of Neuro gum and mints, 20% by using promo code JKB. Also, the link is in the description below. So I'm going to react. I haven't seen anything. I have not seen any of the schedule, okay? This is all fresh reaction. I wanted to do that because, well, I wanted to do it. So, look, I'm going to look right now at it. I'm going to also fix these comments, so I will pin your comments in the, of course, the comments section there. And let's get into it. So, this is my live reaction. I see preseason. They're playing the Chargers again, the Raiders and the Broncos. I feel like they always play those. Yeah. So let's take a gander, shall we? Schedule release just for you. Okay, Seahawks at Seahawks week 1 and week 11. So that's interesting. I'm going to pause it in between each video, clip or whatever. Yeah. Opening it up in Seattle on the road. Okay. And week 11, interesting. No finale in Seattle. No second to last game in Seattle. I don't hate it. I don't love opening, on the road, but hey, you can't have it every way. So let's see what's up next. Rams versus 49ers, week 2. And of course, to finish the season, they're going to have a finale in San Francisco. I absolutely hate that draw. Hate it. Because if I'm not mistaken, the leak was that the Rams are playing at MetLife week 17. So that seems like some BS. But anyway, not a fan of that draw. You're at home week 2. If you can win that game, great. There's a chance they start 0-2 here. We'll see what ends up happening. But yeah, I don't love that draw, and I don't think you should either. All right, let's look at Cincinnati Monday Night Football week 3. So that's wow. So the Rams have the Seahawks on the road, the Niners, they're at home, then they go to Cincinnati Monday Night Football rematch of the Super Bowl week 3. That's not ideal. Week 4 looks like that's going to be at Indy. So Philly, week 5, that is going to be at home. It's not an easy. The first 5 games, Seattle playoff team, 49ers playoff team, the Bengals playoff team, Philly in the Super Bowl. Obviously, the Rams are starting their. This is ridiculous, man. The Rams' first 5 games, they're playing 4 out of the 5 are playoff teams, and I think the Colts are going to be better than people think. What the hell is this, man? Oh, Lord. That's, wow. Okay. So. Okay, so Cardinals, so that's a win. Week 6 in LA, and then week 12. So maybe they get Kyler Murray week 12 on the road. I think the Rams sweep the Cardinals. I think that's what is going to happen. There's a chance the Rams could start off pretty poorly. This is not a good draw. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. This is a horrible draw, but the Cardinals game, I guess, makes up for it. All right, let's see what ends up happening here. All right. Steelers week 7. Yeah, so I think the Steelers are going to be pretty darn good this year. So basically what we're looking at is through the first 7 weeks, the Rams have it pretty tough. Okay, all right. In Dallas, week 8. This is death row. Packers week 9 with Aaron Rodgers, that could have been worse, but we don't know. By week 9, Jordan Love has plenty of time to turn into a god before they play the Rams, because the Packers always beat the Rams. So I don't know. I mean, this could also be a tough one. So week 10 is a bye. So I like the week 10 bye. I don't want to see that corgi. Why? I'm triggered right now. Why are they showing that corgi? I'm a Laker fan. Don't you know that's insulting right now? They really did the. Oh, Lord. I hate that corgi so much. All right, the Browns, week 13. Week 14. Guys, this schedule is ridiculous. Oh, Commanders. Okay. What's with the bacon ASMR? Is that what the Commanders are. I don't even know what that was. Is that the Saints? So Rams, Saints, Thursday Night Football, SoFi Stadium. So the Rams only have 2 primetime games, it looks like. Ugh, the Giants one is painful. Yeah, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Man. That is, I'm not even going to lie. That schedule is insane. What? I don't know if they win 10 games like I was saying. All right. Let's break this down. Okay? This is why you guys are here. You're not here to just see my reaction. We're going to break this down. All the live reaction, was that a nice touch? I've never done it before. All right. We got the live reaction. You guys saw me live taking that in. So, week 1 in Seattle. I am going to go, you know what? They came close to beating Seattle last year with Baker Mayfield not playing that well. It's weird because Matthew Stafford's still the quarterback. Like, it's a hard schedule. The defense might not be great. But Matthew Stafford, if he plays at the level that he's capable of and stays healthy, they can steal games. Give me a win. Rams kick it off with a road win in Seattle. I'm gonna say the Rams kick it off with the road win in Seattle. I think they're gonna shock everyone and win that game. They were completely robbed of it this year. I think they're gonna shock everyone and win that game. So, give me the road win in Seattle. Rams are 1-0 so far. Okay, so week 2, 49ers at home. I'm going to say the Rams lose that. I think the Rams are losing both games to the 49ers again. I'm sorry. I just do. I until Sean McVay proves that he can beat Kyle Shanahan in a regular season game against the 49ers, I mean, for the first time since, 2017 or 18, I'm sorry. I'm picking the 49ers here. And I think this game will be interesting. I think they got a shot at winning this game. I think they have no chance at winning week 18. That is just not fair to put that. That is brutal. God, I hate that draw so much. If they're in the playoff race, that game is going to just, I'm so mad. But yeah, so I got 1-1 so far. Week 3 at Cincinnati. Bengals get revenge. I don't see how the Rams win that game. In Cincinnati, Monday Night Football, you're going to have a lot of young talents playing Monday Night Football for the first time, right into their first year. I don't know. I'm gonna say the Bengals win the Monday Night Football game. Then you got the Colts in Indy. The Rams notoriously play well in Indy, regardless if they have a good team or a bad team. I'm gonna take the Rams to beat the Colts there, 2-2 through 4 games. Philly. Interestingly enough, that's at home. They come back after having 2 road games. I'm going to take Philly to win, but maybe that game is closer. I don't know. So 2-3. They beat the Cardinals 3-3. It's at SoFi. I'm going to say they beat the Steelers in a very close nail-biter game. If this was in Pittsburgh, I would take Pittsburgh. But I'm going to say the Rams beat the Steelers. So far, we have what? 4-3. In Dallas, the Rams have played well. They've also played poorly under Sean McVay there. They had that game where that just pretty much cost them the playoffs. Tony Pollard went off. 4-3. You know what? I think Dallas is overrated. I think they're overrated. I'm going to take the Rams over the Cowboys. 5-3. Take the Rams losing to Green Bay. I don't know why, but they can't beat Green Bay. I don't know. So 5-4 going into the bye week. Come out fresh. You beat Seattle. 6-4. Cardinals. I think they beat the Cardinals 7-4. I think they beat the Browns 8-4. And then, okay, all right. I think they lose to Baltimore 8-5. Well, every team, every single season, a team has a stinker, right? This will be the game. They won't have it against Washington for whatever reason. Week 15, they're going to go 8-6. The Saints, Thursday Night Football. At home, I'm going to say 9-6. I'm going to say they beat the Giants at MetLife 10-6. They have a lot of success there. If you don't believe me, they've won like every time they've played there since, I don't even know. I know because I was at most of the games. And then they lose to the Niners. So 10-7. So I guess literally not even trying to have 10-7. I'm sticking by my 10-7 prediction. Okay. All right. So in case you guys missed that, Seahawks win 1-0. Lose to the Niners 1-1. Lose to the Bengals 1-2. Beat the Colts 2-2. Lose to the Eagles 2-3. Beat the Cardinals 3-3. Beat the Steelers 4-3. Beat the Cowboys 5-3. Lose to Green Bay 5-4. Bye week. Beat Seattle 6-4. Beat the Cardinals 7-4. The Browns 8-4. Lose to the Ravens 8-5. Lose to the Washington Commanders 8-6. Beat the Saints 9-6. Beat the Giants 10-6. And then lose to the Niners to wrap up the year 10-7. Sneaking into the playoffs, perhaps. I don't know, but I think that they have a shot at sneaking into the playoffs. So 10-7. That's the record. That's my prediction. Am I sticking by it? Of course I am. I'm not gonna go back on my word. I think let's break these games down though. And it's funny because I'm going to be talking about this probably on 2 different podcasts as well. So we're might sound a little repetitive, but all right, let's do this. So the Seahawks, right? You got what they did so far, in the offseason. I thought they drafted well. I'm going to bring up their depth chart real quick. So we got the Seattle Seahawks breaking this thing down just because I like to have it in front of me. You go out, you get Devin Witherspoon, who's going to start. He's going to be with, Tariq Woolen, Kobe Bryant. That's going to be a tough secondary to, work around, right? You got Jamal Adams, who's healthy. You got Julian Love, who you paid. Quandre Diggs, right? Nwosu, Bobby Wagner, Jordan Brooks, Darrell Taylor. They added Derek Hall, as you guys know. Jaron Reed, guys like Draymond Jones. So, yeah, I really like that defense. I would have liked to see them get a little bit better in the trenches, but good defense, as far as the defensive line. But then you look at the offensive side, they go out and get JSN. They have Tyler Lockett. They have DK Metcalf. They have D. Eskridge, right? Their offensive line, you got Cross, Damian Lewis, Evan Brown. They got Oluwatimi as well, and Anthony Bradford. Good depth there. Maybe they even start over Phil Haynes and Abraham Lucas. Noah Fant, Geno Smith, Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet. This is not going to be an easy team to beat, but I think they do it twice. I think the Rams, they have Seattle's number. They really do. They can beat Seattle. I believe in that. This is still Sean McVay. I'm going to stick by the Rams winning this game. However, the 49ers game, right? honestly, I don't think it's crazy to say the 49ers had the worst draft class in the NFL this year, by far. I mean, their first pick was a freaking kicker, and they barely had any picks. So, look, I think the Niners, they didn't get a ton better, but they did go out. They did add Cameron Latu, good tight end, will be their number 2, I believe. D. Winters is a guy to look out for. Could be a problem. They also got Jair Brown, who I really like. Aside from that, the draft was pretty bad. But, they still have your usual, Nick Bosa. They added Javon Hargrave in free agency. You got Arik Armstead, Drake Jackson. They spent a second-round pick on last year. Cleveland Ferrell, they could get, good production out of them. One thing I will say about the 49ers, okay? Their defensive coordinator is Steve Wilks. Okay, we'll see what ends up happening with Steve Wilks, but to assume that he is automatically going to have the same success as DeMeco Ryans and Robert Saleh is not a fair assumption. There is a chance that this defense could take a step back. There is a chance losing guys like that, in the organization, losing those coaches could hurt them. There's also a chance it doesn't. I'm willing to bank on the fact that the 49ers are going to be really good and probably win the division, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're not the same team. I still think they beat the Rams. They just have the Rams number. I don't care if the 49ers aren't as talented. They are, but even if they weren't, I just can't pick against them because they've had the Rams number, So that's what I'll see there. The Bengals, right? Bengals had just a monster draft. I mean, when you look at the players they got, going out and getting DJ Turner, Jordan Battle, Miles Murphy, Chase Brown even's going to help them. Charlie Jones is my second receiver. I think they got better, and they're already one of the best teams. You're going to see Nick Scott going up against his former team week 3, Monday Night Football. I just think this is going to be too hard for the Rams to win this game. So they start out 1-2. It's a lot better than 0-3, and I think they're going to start out 1-2. Now, could I see 0-3? No, honestly, no. Unless there is a serious issue injury-wise with Matthew Stafford, the Rams are at least winning one of those 3 games. The Rams are at least winning 2 of the next 4 games to start the season, okay? I think they're beating the Colts, and I think it's going to beat Seattle. I think they'll lose in between those games to the 49ers and Bengals, right? So that's what I'm thinking. Now looking at the Colts, looking at their roster, they got a good looking roster. It's getting better. Kenny Moore, Isaiah Rodgers, Julius Brents in the secondary with Darius Rush. You also have Rodney Thomas, Julian Blackmon, Daniel Scott, who they drafted, Nick Cross, a 3rd rounder last year. So they have a good secondary. They got EJ Speed, Shaq Leonard, Zaire Franklin. So they have some really good, linebackers. Samson Ebukam is going to be facing the Rams again. He's starting for them. Buckner, Grover Stewart, Kwity Paye, Adebawore. So, I mean, the Colts defense is pretty darn solid. Then who's going to start? Is it Anthony Richardson? Is it going to be Gardner Minshew? And so I think that's very interesting there. Could see either starting. I think they're going to start with Anthony Richardson. That's kind of the vibe I get, because at the end of the day, I think Shane Steichen gives them that chance that they can use Richardson. I think he fits that offense. So look, the Colts, Alec Pierce, Michael Pittman, they got Isaiah McKenzie, Josh Downs. Yeah, good weapons. Offensive line looking better. They got Blake Freeland, in the draft in the 4th round. They have Ryan Kelly. They have Braden Smith. They have Quentin Nelson, Bernard Ryman. You have Jelani Woods at tight end. So, yeah, I mean, the Colts aren't going to be an easy win, but I do think the Rams win that just on paper. Then you look at Philly. I mean, Philly, they had an A-plus draft. They're one of the best teams. They represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. I don't expect them to win this game. If they do, I'll be pleasantly surprised and happy. But, I mean, they had a great draft, and they just got better. I mean, Jalen Carter and going out and getting Nolan Smith and Sidney Brown, just a heck of a draft for them. Tyler Steen at tackle can also play guard. They're depth filled. I think Stafford could have a problem in that game. I'm actually worried about Stafford getting hurt in that game because it's a nonstop rotation with guys that can really play in this league. Because you look at Brandon Graham, you have Fletcher Cox, you have Jalen Carter, you have Josh Sweat, you have Nakobe Dean, you have Nolan Smith. I mean, all these guys can rush the passer. Derek Barnett, if I didn't already mention him. So, yeah, that could be a problem. That could definitely be a problem, for Stafford. Hopefully they can keep him upright. I have them losing that game. The Cardinals, I just don't think they're a good football team. I know Hopkins is staying or whatever, but, right now, Kyler Murray won't start. So it's Colt McCoy, Clayton Tune, Jeff Driscoll, and David Blau. So one of those guys are going to start until Kyler Murray is healthy. I think they say he's going to miss half the year. So when you look at that, you got James Conner, you got Keontae Ingram, Corey Clement, Tyson Williams, and then Demarcado, the UDFA. Running back room is still the same. I mean, James Conner has had success against the Rams, so that's fair. You look at the wideouts. Rondale Moore, does he take that next step? They got Pascal, who was a free agent. They draft Michael Wilson 3rd round. They got Auden Tate. They got Javon Wims, and they also have DeAndre Hopkins and Marquise Brown. The offensive line, you add Paris Johnson with DJ Humphries and Will Hernandez and Kelvin Beachum. They had John Gaines out of UCLA in the 4th round. Lacita Smith. So they have some good talents there, I would say. I don't know who's going to be their center. That's a little bit up in the air. Could be Lacita Smith. Could be John Gaines. Could be Hjalte Froholt. Not really sure. And then the defense. They still have Simmons. They still have Marco Wilson, Jalen Thompson, Budda Baker. Those guys can definitely play. Juju Hughes, if you remember him on the Rams, he's there. Cottrell Clark, a 6th rounder, good player. They got Garrett Williams, who obviously I'm a big fan of. Owen Papo. They also got BJ Ojulari. So, they got some players for sure. Zaven Collins, Kaiser White. They're a better team on paper than I think they're going to play on the field. I think really they're gonna have a hard time winning without Kyler Murray. I'm gonna say that right now. But also, let's just be honest. The Rams have had the Cardinals number. They had that one game the Cardinals did, the Super Bowl season. I mean, it was one of those games that just doesn't go your way. But I mean, in reality, the Rams have just dominated this matchup, and I wouldn't be surprised if they continue to do the same. So, yeah, looking at that, the Steelers. And I think the Steelers, they had an awesome draft. One of the best drafts by far. So they're going to be a lot better. Kenny Pickett, I think he's a better player, going into this year, obviously. Najee Harris, you got Jalen Warren in the running back room with Anthony McFarland. You got the wide receivers. Now Allen Robinson will get to play against the Rams. Calvin Austin is not somebody to sleep on. Obviously George Pickens and Deontay Johnson. You look at the tight ends, they go out and they get, Darnell Washington in that room with Pat Freiermuth. The offensive line, they go out and get Broderick Jones, so they get their left tackle of the future. Dan Moore, pretty solid player. Now he becomes either a backup or moves to right tackle. They have Mason Cole, they have James Daniels, and they have Isaac Sumalo from Philly. It's a good-looking offensive line there. Right. So, you look at what the Rams are dealing with here with the Steelers, and it's like, TJ Watt, Larry Ogunjobi, Keanu Benton, Cam Hayward, Montravius Adams, so there's a lot of guys there. Quincy Roche, Alex Highsmith is a monster off the edge as well. Nick Herbig, I think, is going to be very intriguing for them. Joey Porter Jr., Patrick Peterson, Levi Wallace, Minka Fitzpatrick, Keanu Neal, DeMonte Casey. It's a good-looking roster, I still think, and I forgot to mention Corey Trice, who literally just got signed to a 4-year deal. The rookie contract, of course, so I think that'll be interesting. Looking at the Cowboys, all right? Cowboys, I said they're overrated. Are they really overrated? I mean, I think they're good, but I do think they're getting a little overrated for sure. Pollard finally is going to be the starter. That's great. They added Deuce Vaughn. Love Deuce Vaughn. Dak Prescott, I think, is getting a little overrated. I've seen some call him the best quarterback in this conference. I don't know. I don't I don't see that. Maybe I'm wrong, but Tyron Smith, Tyler Smith, Tyler Biotish, Zach Martin, and Terrence Steele. So they decided not to upgrade the tackle spot. Jake Ferguson, Schoonmaker, and Hendershot, as well as McCune at tight end. They got CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, Michael Gallup, Simi Fehoko, Kavontae Turpin. Jalen Tolbert was a third rounder last year. So, they have some guys that are intriguing. All in all, it's a good looking offense, not amazing, I would say. You look at the defense, Lawrence, you got Mozzie Smith, the first round pick, Damone Clark, DeMarvion Overshown, Leighton Vander Esch, Micah Parsons, Oza Adigizoa, Neville Gallimore, Chauncey Golston. I mean, they got some talent on this defense. I think the secondary could have been addressed a little bit, but they did go out and get Stephon Gilmore, to be fair. I don't know. I'm not going to go through every team. That's pretty much half the schedule, and I'm practically winded. But at this point, I feel pretty good saying 10-7. I think the specialists will outperform what people are expecting. I think the pass rush is going to be solid. I like the look of this Rams team in a year that's going to be a little bit of a transition, right? You're not thinking Super Bowl necessarily. You got to temper those expectations, but I think they could slide in. They got a great coach, and that's one thing that you need. Even if you have a good roster, great coach can hold back a good roster. So, yeah, I mean, all in all, it's not ideal to go up against, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 playoff teams in the first 5 games, right? Yeah, it's not ideal. They go up against 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So nine out of their 18 games are against playoff teams. Obviously, those are repeat with the 49ers and Seattle. So in reality, only 5 of them are different than their rivals. But look, all right, I'm just gonna say it. This is not a tank season. This is not a season in which I think they're gonna go 0-8. I just think it's gonna be tough, and hey. You're going to have to win those close games. It doesn't matter how you win. Just, it matters that you win, period. That you win. Not how you win, that you win. So, yeah, I'm pretty, tapped out because, I already did a hour stream. The back-to-back away games is absolute bullshit. I will say that. There's literally 2 back-to-back away games. The Cowboys, the Packers, and then you have the Giants and the 49ers to end the season, which is just brutal. But, there have been tough schedules in the past. Feels like this one's a little tougher. It's very consistent. Like, you don't get, like, your murder's row can take you out of the playoff race by the bye week. So, that's the thing. Once you get past the bye week, it's like, you have the Browns, you have Washington, you have the Saints. I think the Ravens are going to get the Giants. I don't think the Giants are great, and I wouldn't be surprised if they lost the game to the Giants, but I don't know. I don't feel like the Giants are great. I feel like the Giants are capable, but anyway, the Rams are capable of beating anybody on this schedule. Even the 49ers, they're capable of it, right? Because you can win any game in the NFL. But, it's a matter of what are we going to see? Is this going to be the team that just shocks everybody? Hey, they're built like that. They only have 2 primetime games, so clearly the NFL doesn't believe in them. Their back is against the wall, essentially. Everyone's doubting them. Gives them an opportunity to prove everyone wrong. It's a fascinating position to be in, for sure. But, yeah, guys, be sure to hit the thumbs up button. Really would help me out, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I think I think my least favorite thing about this schedule, without a doubt, is the ending the season against the 49ers on the road is just bullshit to me. That's just bullshit. I don't see why they have to play the Niners. Why can't they play the Cardinals? Why can't they play Washington? Like, why it has to be the Niners? That annoys me. They've already had an end of the season week 18 Niners. So 2 of the last 3 years have been the Niners week 18. 1 at home, 1 on the road this year. They had a road one last year. I don't know. I don't like the back-to-back road schedule. I don't really love this schedule, if I'm being honest with you. I hate that the Giants are playing on New Year, like they're playing the Giants on New Year's Eve, because that's going to be a bitch to travel. And say what you will, I know I'm in New York. It's only a 3-hour drive. Yeah, it's going to be a pain in the ass getting home. It's going to be a pain in the ass getting there. It's dangerous. You got a bunch of drunks on the road. I don't know. It's not ideal, and it's also going to make it harder for, some of my friends and family to go that I wanted to. So I don't know if I'll be at the game. I wanted to go. Maybe I go to the Baltimore game, depending on how finances are. I mean, realistically speaking, I feel like I just got to make the Giants game work, because there's not really a ton of games I can go to without traveling like pretty far. So, I don't know. I would just temper your expectations. I don't think this team is winning a Super Bowl or anything, but I also would say, if you're expecting a 0-17 team, well, I hate to break it to you, they're not going to be tanking like that. So I think 10-7 is fair. I think, people are going to be in between 7-10 to 10-7. I don't really see them winning more than 10 games on the schedule. But I did give them a loss against Washington that could very well be a win, So anyway, yeah, I'm tapped out, guys. This has been fun. Glad we were able to do this. I got a Believe in Rams recording tomorrow with Cam. We're going to go over the schedule and everything. And then I believe we might have Downtown Rams. But yeah, I got some... Oh, congrats, Young and Isaac. That's awesome. That's freaking cool. Appreciate you watching me from the hospital, and congrats, by the way. That's awesome. You had your baby. That's really cool. Yeah, I think how I want to approach this channel, I'm going to keep posting, off the edge content, even though it doesn't do as well with the Rams audience, but I'm going to keep posting off the edge content. And I got pieces coming up, like projects that I've been working on about Van Jefferson, Puka Nacua, all that, taking into account how history has looked for players in that position. So I'm more analyzing, like, Puka Nacua, 5th round wide receiver. What does he look like compared to other 5th round wide receivers? I believe, and I'll go into it, I'll dive into it, but I believe Stephon Diggs was a 5th round receiver. So plenty of stuff, plenty of stuff that I'm working on in the back end. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. I see over 100 people in here, 36 likes. Be sure to hit the thumbs up. Helps me out immensely. If you like any content on YouTube, really, YouTube, decides who to share that with based on how many likes that each video gets. So it doesn't get thumbs up and all of that. But Jake, with you're familiar with the Jets, have you done a breakdown video of Michael Ford's time with the Jets, what he could bring to the Rams offense? I thought I did. I could look more into that. I'm in a weird spot as far as the Jets coverage. This channel gets so much viewership when it comes to the Rams. that I don't know if I'm in a position to cover really anything other than the Rams. So I think right now I'm just kind of pivoting. This channel will be Rams. We'll have Off the Edge, Believe in Rams, Downtown Rams. Also, the Downtown Rams channel will have Rams content. And I'm at some point going to bring back the game streams, like gaming, like playing the new Star Wars or whatever, you know, because I like that. I like building the community. I like interacting with the community, you know. So I think I'm at the point where, you know, I got to listen to the audience. Maybe down the road, I try to kind of rebrand it, but the channel, even though it's Jake Ellenbogen, I think I'm just so, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but I'm so pigeonholed into the Rams, you know, community that it's harder to make more, you know, other content and have that same success. So, I don't know if I'll be covering the Jets this year. I really have not decided. Right now, I'm leaning towards no, because I already do a podcast or you know, a show practically daily with Cameron Lynch called Off the Edge. If you haven't already, be sure to check that out. But I pretty much already do a show Off the Edge, and you know, we cover all 32 teams essentially. So I don't know. I mean, I think maybe I'm just going to stick to the Rams and, you know, cover the NFL on that show, and you'll go from there. But I will say, as of right now, I'm moving away from this being a sports show, a sports channel, and more of just a football channel with more of a Rams-centric look on it. If that ever changes, I will let you know. But, you know, I think I'm really just going to start pushing that. So, you know, we'll see what ends up happening. NFL draft, it's different. But you got to go with what you know and what the audience is saying. And, you know, that's kind of where I'm at. So, yeah, I'll work on more stuff. Gaming might be on another channel. I'll have to figure it out, see what makes sense. I'm not monetized on that gaming channel. So, you know, that's a little tough. But, yeah, we'll figure it out. Appreciate you guys tuning in. And, I'll be back tomorrow. Obviously in some capacity, we'll have plenty of content, and yeah, that's all I got. Go Lakers and go Devils. Later, folks. You ever get those ridiculous social media scams where people pretend to be somebody you're friends with and tell you can make a lot of money? I know I do. It's why I'm very excited to partner with today's sponsor, Aura. Aura is an easy-to-use app that essentially packages a bunch of services to stay safe online all in one. Aura protects you from scammers and hackers. They scan the web for all sorts of data leaks and alert you as soon as they find anything. Aura is like the offensive line for a quarterback, consistently offering you protection from suspicious and malicious activity. They have a VPN built in that keeps your browsing history and personal information safe and encrypted. They'll even alert you if someone's trying to open up a credit card or a loan in your name. Did I mention they protect all your devices from viruses, malware, spyware, and any other things so the bad guys can't break in? Aura can even manage what your kids do on their devices. You can set limits and restrict them from specific apps. They have a password manager as well, so you don't have to rely on an outdated Rolodex or that sticky note that's been on your desk forever. There are apps that do all of these things, but there isn't one that tackles everything the way Aura does, which is why I say Aura is a 5-man offensive line and you're the quarterback. So head on over to aura.com/JKB. You can find it in the description and start your free trial today.